guys, welcome back to my channel. Since it is February and it's really close to Valentine's Day, it's the month of love. So I thought I'd kind of give you guys a little story about mine and my husband's relationship. So our love story. We met online. So it's kind of weird going back and looking at the first message I sent him. Our relationship started out very, well, I guess it's normal for nowadays. Like a lot of people meet online. So in 2009, I was actually living in Alabama, going to school out there, and I'd come home for Christmas or whatever, for the holidays. And I went to this one huge church performance here in town. I went to that with some of my girlfriends, and I saw David. He was wearing a beanie and a long sleeve black striped shirt. I remember because he still has it. And he was with this younger guy. I saw him and I was like, oh my gosh, he's so cute. Now I had just broken up with my boyfriend like in October, I think. So like I had been single for 2 months at that point, and I didn't know if it was because like I was vulnerable or whatever, but like I saw him and I was like, oh dang, that guy's cute. But I'm like, obviously I'm going back to Alabama. I'll probably never see him again, like no big deal. I saw him, cool, got my hopes up, like thought he was really cute, and then went back to Alabama in January. During that time, I like kept on thinking about him. By this time I didn't even like know his name, didn't know where he lived. Like this church event was huge, so there was like a ton of people everywhere. And so I was like, well, I don't know why I'm thinking about him, like he's probably just really cute, whatever. So a couple months go by and I keep on thinking about him, and I'm like, okay, Lord, like fine, I'll just start praying for him. So I started praying for him, and I was like, okay, like it started out like little prayers like, God, give him a good day, like blah, blah, blah. Please don't let him have a girlfriend. I'm just kidding. And so I started praying like that. And then it like prayers got more specific into like not weird details in his life. I mean, I wasn't just doing like simple prayers anymore, you know, I was going more in depth. And so a couple months go by and my girlfriend calls me up and she's like just telling me about some stuff going on in her life, and how like this guy was super nice and like took them out to dinner or lunch or something, and like paid for their meals, like the whole table. And I was like, oh my God, who would do that? Like that's really sweet, whatever. What was his name? So I looked him up and I was like, holy crap, this is the guy I've been praying for. Like this is crazy. So I was kind of like freaking out because I'm like, this is the guy. Like I didn't think I would ever know who he was. And here I am, like been praying for him for the 5 months. This was May. I'm looking at the message. This is May 1st. And so I called my mom and I was like, Mom, you know this guy like I've been praying for, blah, blah, blah. Like I think I'm gonna write him a message. And she's like, just go for it, just do it. And so May 1st, I wrote him this message on Facebook, and it was the most awkward thing I have ever done in my life. And I said, this is probably the most random thing I've ever done. I'm actually quite embarrassed. And then I kind of told him like who I was, and oh, by this time like I had planned on moving back to California because my best friend in college was graduating that year and she was moving up to Nashville. She was working up there as a nurse, and so I really didn't want to stay at school without her being there. I was just really sad like that she was moving, and I lived with her for a couple years, and I don't know, it's just like a weird part in my life. I felt like my Alabama chapter was closing. So I was moving back home. So I was moving back, it was like May, like the second week of May. So I wrote this on the 1st of May. And so I kind of told him like, hey, I'm living in Alabama, but I'm moving back to California this month. This is probably just as weird for me as it is for you because I have no idea who you are, and same goes for you. I said, since Christmas, God has had you on my heart and I tried to ignore it. Then I met someone who knows you, blah, blah, blah. I said, if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be telling you anything because I probably seem or look like a stalker. But I honestly hope that you take this with the most encouragement. If God has someone praying for you in another part of the country, obviously he has something big planned for your life. It's helped me out a lot as well to always be reminded on how great our God is. Be encouraged, my brother, and may God continue to bless you and keep you. That's kind of what I wrote. I wasn't necessarily like wanting anything to happen out of it. I just thought it was cool that like literally I thought he was really cute, and then like I had just been praying for him for a long time. If you guys know me, you know that I'm very into my relationship with God, and so I'm very encouraged and find encouragement when not random things happen, but like things happen and you're like, wow, that's really cool, like God was working in crazy ways. Or I kind of wanted to just know like what was going on in his life because I'd been praying for him and kind of wanted to get to know him. So he wrote this really nice message back and said he really appreciated the encouragement. He's so honored that his God has laid it upon my heart to pray for him, blah, blah, blah. So we kind of just started talking from that day on and have talked every single day since. And we started talking just through Messenger. I think it was for like, we were talking on Messenger for 4 days and then we started Skyping. We shared a lot of our lives together. He was actually got an opportunity to possibly move to Japan to work over there, and he had just declined the offer. And that's kind of like when he met me. We fell hard fast. So I moved home. I think it was like May 14th or something like that. And like we said, I love you on May 16th. Yeah. So it was fast. And I think it was also for me, like living on my own for over 2 years and then like moving into my mom's house again was really hard for me and my mom. Just because I had my own responsibilities and I was used to living on my own. And so it was hard for us. And so I really wanted out of my mom's house. So he proposed on October 4th. 4 months later, and he actually surprised me. We were supposed to work for his dad up in like the LA area, and so we were driving up there to go work for his dad on a Saturday. I guess we needed to like file papers or something like that. It was a total lie, and his dad called us up and was like, oh my gosh, all the papers are like locked in a lockbox, like you guys aren't gonna be able to get to them, sorry, try to figure out something else to do in Pasadena. So in Pasadena there is a botanical garden and it has like a Japanese area, and both of us are very into the Japanese culture. My husband was about to move there, and I am a quarter Japanese and he loves Asians. And I think that's maybe why he's married to me, because I'm a quarter Asian. Even though I don't look it, I still love the Asian culture. And so that was one thing that we really kind of connected with in the very beginning, was that I was Asian and that he loved the Asian culture. So he took me to the Huntington Library in Pasadena, and we were walking through and I was like, cool, like we're making the best of our crazy day. And it was pouring down rain, and it never rains in California. But anyways, we went over there, hung out, and saw like all the pretty paintings and botanical gardens and whatnot. And then we finally go over to the Japanese part of the garden. It was like the last stop that we made, and we saw the koi fish and it was beautiful. And then there was this like bamboo tunnel, and we stopped under there because it was like raining. He kind of like talked to me and got like really nervous and was like holding my arms like this, like shaking, and I was like, oh my gosh, what's happening? My husband is like an amazing writer, an amazing speaker. He was a youth pastor, or he was just a pastor in general for 7 years. He kind of moved around a lot. So he's always been very good and articulate with his words. For me, I was like, oh, I love you too. Like, yeah, I feel you, you know. And he was like, he like outshines me all the time when it comes to conversations, and he's really good with words. Anyways, so he like did this whole spiel and it was beautiful. He said a lot of words that I don't understand. I'm just kidding. And then he goes in this like crotch area of his pants and like pulls out this box and like proposes to me, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I told him to shut up. Of course I said yes, and it was so exciting and I was so happy, and he did such a good job on my engagement ring. It's really dirty, but I love my ring, and so I was so proud to wear it. That was October 4th. So we kind of were like, well, when do we get married? Because do we want a summer wedding? Do we want a fall wedding? No, we want to get married super fast. We chose to get married in March. I, being the smart person that I am, wanted to do everything by hand because I'm super creative. So I decided I don't want real flowers at my wedding. I want to make paper flowers. And this is before Pinterest. We got married on March 27th of 2011. We moved into our first house. My husband had lived there a couple weeks before, maybe like a month before. We bought a condo here in town, and it was a 1-bedroom condo. It was perfect for us. But yeah, so we moved in our condo and it was great. And that was from when we started dating until we got married. And that was 11.5 months. But hey, we're still married 6 years later. So we have a beautiful baby girl now, and it's been great. I think I am going to cut this video off here because it's already 15 minutes. And I'm going to film another video kind of telling the rest of our story. So thank you guys so much for watching this first part of our love story. If you guys like this, please give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to my channel down below if you haven't already. And if you want to see part 2 of this video, then it'll be up in like 2 days. And if it's already up, then I'll probably have it linked somewhere down in the description box below. So make sure to check that out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys later.